At the moment, due to many different forces, the world is not a very happy place. The reason it's not very happy is because the people who run the world aren't very happy. Because if people run the world were happy, then they wouldn't try to create so much discontentedness amongst the people of the world. And you have to ask yourself, why are people who have everything and control everything not very happy? And they might say, well, they're happy, they get gaiety or some sort of laughter and cynical humour out of causing unhappiness. It's because they themselves are unhappy. Because they themselves are in sort of a private realm they can't get out of. They think they're free. It sounds like a great bit of freedom to wield all this power. But it's like any sect or cult, you can't leave it. I suppose it could have gone live on an island and switch off for a while. But there seems some sort of addiction to being unhappy and bringing unhappiness into the world. Why to create such a discontent through whatever means they're doing at the moment? And many of us know what it is. We don't go into detail of it. There's no point. Plenty of people are doing that. So what we should need to concern with, really and truly, is what can we do about those people, the 1%ers of what we are, who are so unhappy that they want to make the whole world unhappy and cause so many problems because they think there's so many people and they're wrecking the planet, which is true. It's very, very true. There's a lot of... And the thing about it is, the more money the wealthy people want, the more the means they need to create money and wealth, the more damage is done to the ecology because they have to increase consumerism to keep things going, industries going, and which they make money out of. So the circle that is complained about most, that there's too many people in the world consuming too many things and damaging the planet, is actually created by the people who control the flow of money. And it's a sort of contradiction and it's extremely selfish. And how it all turns out is very difficult to try to project. The lack of conscience about, we can have a conscience about the planet. We're born into nature and we should have a real conscience about our conscious awareness about the planet and how we live in it and how we do not damage it as much as we can help. We've got to live in it, we've got to be in it, we've got to consume some things, but if you're not greedy and you don't get any more than you need, you can be just as content as a man with very little, but more so than a man with a great deal. Because a lot of men with a great deal don't seem to ever be content with what they've got. They've got to have more and more and more, and they have a lot bigger and bigger family, what takes more and more, and they all want more and more, and that's a growing empire of people who now live by convenience and are privileged because of all the power they have. And it's just a biological factor. This is a part of it. It's a biological factor. It's a sort of an old Roman factor. If you do your Roman history, it's a continuation of that. But now they're using all sorts of means to try and they want to reduce your human population, and that would have been not that difficult to do by empowering women more to have more control over their bodies and have less babies would naturally reduce the human population. But then the most interesting part about trying to control the population for one reason or another is that in the end it may backfire because say there's a coronal injection and burns all the satellites and destroys all the communication and all the infrastructure, what keeps the world going. Suddenly, the world is back in the Stone Age, and it's frozen over if it happens in the winter in the north. It's a great disaster for people. And much of humanity will be really done a lot of damage to by that simple thing. One simple mass corona injection, a corona magnetic injection. One big solar flare, or a comet hitting the planet, or it's suddenly going into an ice age. It can, regardless, they can say it's global warming because of all the moisture in the air. It can suddenly get very, very cold in the north as well, and that could cause also a lot. It cause millions to die. So when you want to try and reduce world population by other means, whatever it is, that may be rushing into things because you're excited because you've got power and you're bored and not much to do with your life, but make mischief for others and other human beings equal to them in other ways. Maybe not as superior in finances and political clout and manipulation and weapons, but nonetheless, you don't need, and when they're for Klaus Schwab, we said, you're going to be happy with owning nothing. Well, it's true. You can be very, very happy owning nothing. Just, all you want is a little bit of freedom and a garden or whatever, and you don't need much to be happy. In fact, trying to get a lot more and more and more is the biggest cause of unhappiness there is.